This episode of Noise of the Broke Boys is brought to you by fishing. Do you enjoy relaxing on a boat on a calm body of water early in the morning? How about the thrill of sailing to open waters to seek out the wonders of the ocean? Are you also a connoisseur of the mass genocide of specific water-dwelling species? Well, fishing is a perfect sport for you. Sit down with an ice-cold beverage and reel in a fresh catch. Breathe in the crisp ocean air as you use your bare hands to remove the vital organs of your newly caught friend. Let your blood-soaked fingers remind you of your own mortality as you attach some of the discarded fish flesh to your hook as you cast a line out to a new friend. Call 1-800-DELICIOUS-CARNAGE for a free consultation for your next fishing adventure. That's 1-800-DELICIOUS-CARNAGE. And now, on to the show. In this episode, I talk with a b-boy I've looked up to since I was a kid. This guy has tremendous insight into the art of breaking and a decorated history in the game. Not only is he knowledgeable, down to earth, and extremely skilled, he is a genuine and humble guy that's not afraid to tell it like it is. I have a massive respect for this man, so please enjoy the episode with the one and only Ajax. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this broke-ass show. Today, I have a very great guest with me. We are on location at Elite Studio of Dance in Elk Grove right now, and I have my friend Ajax. He's a b-boy, he's a teacher, he's a student, a father, a friend, a golfer, a fisherman.
Damn, bro, you putting all my info out there.
A 49ers fan, a Kings fan, and a Sacramento hip-hop OG.
Diehard Niners fan.
Yep.
Since I was, man, I think the first Super Bowl I watched, I think it was like in 1989.
Oh, shit.
I was like 8 years old or something like that. So
you were trying to see them win some games?
Been a Niners fan ever since. So can't call me a bandwagoner. Can't call me none of that shit. Diehard Niner fan.
Man, in 89, I was 2 years old. All I was trying to do is not poop my pants.
Playing outside, fucking drinking out the water hose.
Yeah, drinking out of the water hose and, like, I don't know, probably doing some wild shit that I shouldn't be doing.
That's that 80s swagger.
Yeah. And your parents are like, oh, where'd the kid go? Oh, he's probably cool.
Fucking be home before dark and shit.
Yeah. Damn, dude. So you've been, like, in the hip-hop scene for a minute, right? What got you into it?
So kind of like any other kid, like I remember back when I was probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old, around that age. We'd have like family parties or whatever.
Yep.
And we'd be dancing, whatever dance was popular, we'd be dancing. And then just, I guess breaking, but not really knowing what you're doing. Because, of course, in the 80s, like, people were breaking, but it was mostly, like, I think it was more of an East Coast thing. Like, I don't think there was really necessarily a lot of kids or people in general in California, breaking or whatever. So I think mostly it was just, like, dancing, at, like, family parties, get-together, shit like that. And then as far as, like, actually, like, getting into, like, hip-hop, thought that was somebody from the studio. As far as getting into hip-hop, I think that started, like, in junior high.
Okay.
Like, what, 94-ish?
Okay.
So that's kind of when I got into like hip-hop, and it was mostly just music at first.
Okay.
I think my first like couple hip-hop albums that I got, I think one of them was Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
No Need for Alarm.
Yeah.
That album bumps.
And it was crazy too because they used to send like those things in the mail where you can like order like 10 tapes or whatever, I think you like pay something or you know what I mean?
I do remember that, yeah, because my mom would always get some stuff, but she'd have some like freaking Celine Dion or whatever.
Yeah, so like I used to get those things, and then I'd order like a bunch of tapes or whatever. And I think this was like right before. No, I think CDs were around, but I mean people were still rocking like cassette tapes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I ordered No Need for Alarm. I can't remember what else. I think it was like it might have been like Doggy Style or something like that. Okay. So anyways, I ordered like a bunch of tapes from that thing. And then I remember like my mom like heard me listening to them. She's like, "What the hell are you listening to?" He's like hella cussing and shit.
Yeah.
And then also like my uncle, this fool used to have like hella cassette tapes like growing up. So I used to like dip into his cassettes and like kind of listen to what was what back then. This was like early like 90s, whatever. So that's kind of how I got into like hip hop music. Was from my uncle, just like dipping in his tapes, and then like I said, ordering tapes from that stupid mail order thing or whatever.
Yep.
And then with b-boying, that came later. I remember I think I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and we had like a junior high like pep rally or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they had a performance from Soul's Crew. Okay. Like some b-boys. And that was like the first time, like since the 80s, that I saw like breakdancing again. I was like, oh shit, like these fools, they're breaking, doing it was mostly like power moves. Yeah. But it was, obviously you're impressed. You're in junior high, and like some older cats come in and start breaking. So you're like, oh shit, I got to learn how to do that,
Yeah. So, but you saw it before that pep rally, like on TV or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like
in a movie or whatever.
Back in the 80s, like, B Street breaking.
Yeah. Okay.
All that. So, I mean, it was there, but I mean, like, shit, man, like.
It didn't like capture your attention until like you saw it in person? Or
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Because like I said, like back then, like I don't remember like I mean, people were popping maybe more in the West, like popping shit like that. So I think that was that. But as far as like breaking, like I can't remember anybody that I knew at least that was breaking. And then that pep rally, it was Soul's Crew, and I was like, oh dude, I gotta learn how to break.
And so like you went straight into breaking, and were you like trying to do like power moves and stuff, or like what was it that captured your attention and made you really want to do it?
Well, actually I started off popping, so let me rewind that. So I started off popping just because I don't know, I thought that was like the dopest part, like the popping.
Yeah.
And then I popped for a while. Used to battle cast at like the skating ring and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
At King Skate Country. Used to go there and battle.
I remember that place.
But yeah, I started off popping, and then eventually just started. We used to call it style. So
style,
doing style.
Okay.
And that's basically footwork, top rocks or whatever like that. It was me and then just a couple of cats I went to junior high school with. We'd go to school and then get out of school, go home, and then move all the furniture from my buddy's living room, and like we practice in there.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, you know what I mean? We even know the names of the moves. We're just trying shit, and then eventually like we'd listen, oh, that's called a flare. That's called a windmill or whatever, you know what I mean?
Could someone actually flare before they knew the name of it?
The guys I was practicing with, I don't think none of them like learned how to flare or anything. Okay. Like I was the only one that learned how to flare, and it took hell long. Yeah. Like it took so long. And then I remember I was doing them wrong for a while, and then just watching people or whatever like that. And then I mean, a couple people would help you out, but realistically back then, like people weren't really trying to help you unless you were, down with them or whatever.
Yeah. Oh dang, people rolling through.
Yeah, they always got some shit going on here.
Yeah, okay.
But they'll probably go to another studio.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So that was like 8th grade. You started like really getting into like the hip hop dancing, and then started breaking. When was the first time? Well, 2 questions. Did you already have the name Ajax at that point? And second, was that when you got in a crew, or when did that happen?
No, we didn't even, like, back then, like, we didn't even know what a b-boy name was or a nickname,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that didn't come until like later
Okay.
on. And like that shit just came naturally.
Someone
you know
just
what I'm
was
saying?
like,
Yeah.
Ajax.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too detailed with it, but I had another nickname that people were calling me, and they used to call me Twomp.
Huh.
So, I mean, if you guys smoke weed, like, you know what a Twomp is. So people used to call me that for a while, and like, it was whatever. And then, we were somewhere, like, I think it was like sophomore high school, something like that. And we're just breaking, whatever. And then my friend Nick just started calling me Ajax. Ajax, your style is mad clean. You know what I mean? And he was like trying to rap back then, so he'd always like incorporate like our names or whatever into his little freestyles or whatnot.
Why did he choose that name?
So I don't know.
I was guessing maybe because your name is Anthony, and he's just like A something.
Yeah,
it's gotta be
exactly.
A something, and he's like cleaning his floor or whatever.
I think
he's
that
like,
was
Ajax.
I think that was pretty much it. And then he'd be like, "Oh, you know, your style's mad clean, like Ajax, something." Like he'd throw it into like a freestyle or whatever like that. And then it just stuck. Like I was never like, you know, call me A. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was never like that.
I always thought that shit was whack when
Yeah.
you're like, I'm a B-boy windmill. You better call me B-boy windmill. I'm like, shut the
Fools
hell
come
up,
up
dude.
with some corny ass name. B-boy, intricate something. You know, you're like, whatever, bro. Your name's Tom or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that's how I was always. Because, like, my name, Kurt the Hurt, I always thought that was, like, a stupid-ass name. And you remember Frack, Will? Will Tears?
Yeah.
Yeah, that fool started calling me that because we were all into, like, wrestling and stuff. And so he was like, oh, yeah, if you were a wrestler, you'd be this and shit. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of tight, but I'm not a wrestler. I'm a fucking people.
I always felt like your B-boy name, like somebody was supposed to, like, give it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than you come up with it, you know. Name is incredible, whatever. Like, nah, man, that shit is corny, bro.
Yeah, if you're not incredible and you're calling yourself
because
incredible.
realistically, like a nickname, like even like family nicknames, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
people have family nicknames, and it's like normally given to you by a family member, and they call you, you know, Junebug or whatever the fuck your nickname is, and that's like a family, and it sticks with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how Ajax came. Oh, there's the owner to the studio. She's cool though.
Okay.
But yeah, that shit just came and like it stuck, you know. And even now, it's like, for the most part, like depending on what the circumstances, like I'll introduce myself as Ajax.
Yeah.
You know, obviously not like on a job interview or something like that. But you know, like if I'm somewhere and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, this is Anthony," I'm like, "Oh, you know, my friends call me Ajax." You know, because that's what I'd rather go by.
Yeah, I feel like everyone was like goofing on me to like get everyone to call me Kurt the Hurt because I was like, fuck, it's this stupid name. And then everybody started calling me that. And I still don't introduce myself as that. But I mean, it stuck. I mean, like, it grew on me for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
And then especially if you're entering a jam, you might, you know, have something that kind of stands out, you know, Kurt the Hurt, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So
what's Vinsanity?
Vinsanity. And
that's actually dope.
I think it's dope. And I forget who gave him that name. It was whatever, but I think it was like back when Vince Carter was like straight killing it. Everyone called him Vinsanity, and then they were like, "Oh, Vince is killing it. He's Vinsanity." So
I remember one of those fucking Vinsanity Nikes that Vince Carter. I never got him though.
Yeah. Dang, is that fool still in the NBA?
Bro, he's still playing.
Dude,
I think it's been. I don't know how many.
How old is he? 50 something? No, I don't know.
He's probably down 40 something. 50. No, he's probably like close to. Dude,
that's crazy.
Because I'm damn near 40, so he has to be like, you know.
I mean, yeah, to be competing at like a level that he's at in NBA, dude. Like fools just running like, you through and stuff, and you're like almost 50. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think he's been in the league for like 20 years, bro. Like no,
he's got to be the oldest, huh?
Oh, easily. Yeah, easily.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and he never won a title, I think, right?
Nope.
Yep. And then last year Toronto just got their title, and he's probably salty. Like I was trying to get that for y'all.
That fool's still dunking though.
Yeah, he's got some crazy dunks.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, he was with the Kings, and he was like dunking on fools.
Yeah,
and I was like, dang, this old ass dude. I don't know where he's at now. But.
Kings, man. Actually, I can't even really speak on Kings because I'm kind of employed by them still.
Dude, man, the Kings frustrate me a little bit because it's like I was hyped this season, and then they were like running at like, ninth in the West or whatever. And I was like, oh, dude, they're gonna make playoffs this year. And now they're like, tank down. So I'm like, come on, man.
I'll just say this: they maloofed us again.
Yeah, it feels like that. Yeah,
because you were on the squad when they were like when they hated on them, they kind of did the same thing this season.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Though.
Yeah.
Like it's cool doing that stuff, but then at the same time, it's like it's a job. You know what I mean?
You gotta like just treat it as a job and like
it's
stuff
a job.
will happen.
Like they literally want you there like all day. It's like
because I did games for the Kings, and then I also did games for the Warriors, and it's similar how they kind of run those teams similarly, but then they're very different from each other because like it felt like with the Kings, Fresh, shout out to him, he would like kind of let us kind of do what we wanted to do.
Exactly.
And then with the Warriors, they kind of like, they're like, we like this, do that kind of thing. So we always had to like, do some head spins or whatever. And we're like, come on, man, I'm sick of this shit. But
I mean, the shows that you guys were doing, they look dope. Like, like from a fan's perspective, like,
I think fans enjoyed it and stuff. And I think it was fun to do them and stuff, but I know a lot of us were like, oh, we want to do some other stuff. Like we wanted to add in some things that maybe wouldn't go so well over. Like we wanted to make it more of a b-boy show, or we even wanted to add some popping in it for a little bit. And we were like, oh, I don't know if that's going to like translate to the, to that stage. Cause you got to think about the person that's in the like nosebleed section trying to see you, and it's like someone's there doing like a wave or whatever, and it's
they're like, what's he doing?
That.
He's just standing there or whatever.
Yeah.
So
you got to have some like spinning crap so that they can see it. So I understand that, and I think I think we did what we needed to do to like do that, and they're still out there doing that too. B-Boy Precise,
is he like running? He's the like main guy.
Yeah, he's the main guy. He's like. He's kind of like, I don't know, the leader or whatever,
Yeah, I remember they had a battle the first time they were basically auditioning people for the Warriors thing. They did a battle, and when I was in Rock Force, shout out to Rock Force. So it was like, I think it was me, Machine, Johnny, and Kareem. We ended up winning like the competition.
Oh, okay.
And like we were like one of the first. I don't know if they had another team prior to us, but we were like one of the first ones back then to like break for the Warriors. Oops.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that because I remember Rich was doing some games. It might have been after you did it, but like, like some Renegades dudes were there.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I don't mean
Kid David was there.
I don't mean to cut off Renegades, but it was us and Renegades.
Okay.
But we ended up winning
the
actual battle, but Renegades was part of the squad as well.
Okay, yeah.
So and then I think they might have picked. I think Rich might have been in there because I think they might have needed like a certain amount of guys on the squad or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like Rock Forest, Renegades, and then there could have been some other cats in there as well.
It was around, I don't remember the year, but it was definitely when like the Warriors were really bad.
And, the team was trash back then.
And I remember like Finesse was there from Renegades.
I think Iron Monkey was on there as well.
I think Milestone was there. And yeah, I think Iron Monkey was there. Yeah. I remember there's a whole bunch of people, like all these Bay Area like heavy hitters were like out there doing this show for like a team that was really bad.
Yeah. No, it was crazy too because we only did like, I don't know, it was a couple games a month or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And so we would commute out there. me and Kareem from Sac, and it was kind of like, I mean, it was worth it because the pay was decent.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And, back then, just to kind of get some exposure or whatnot like that, it was cool.
I always looked at it like, man, I just like breaking and performing and stuff, and so if someone's going to pay me for it, dope.
Yeah, straight up.
I mean, that's probably not the greatest way to think about it in terms of, like, business, but I don't know. I always look at it as a blessing to get paid while you're, having fun, really. So.
Yeah. Sorry, my freaking job's texting me I'm like, bro, I'm off today.
Roll through, come on. Yeah. We need some help. Yeah. Is like, because the scene from when you started to now has changed drastically, and like, what is your opinion about it, and like, what do you think is good? What do you think is bad? And I guess, like, where do you see it going from here?
Man, so like when we first started, like it wasn't even like jams. Well, they were jams, but they weren't competitions. Like there was never like you'd go to somewhere and like there'd be a competition for $500 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was just a jam. You go there, cipher, and battle. Like it was never like, can we get Kurt and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was just like, it was normally like a hip hop show where like some MC or whoever was performing, KRS-One or whoever was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
At Sac State or whatever, and like everyone would go there, break, battle, and like that was it. It was never like a competition.
Some organized thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the competitions came, which was cool. Because it brought people from different areas. Like I remember Rockstride would always be out here. Soul Control, like Charles and all those guys.
Okay.
They'd all be out here. G Wiz and Stunts used to come out here all the time.
I saw G Wiz the other day, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to G Wiz. That guy's he's a cool cat, stunt man. Those guys have always been solid, like from the beginning. Like they've never like changed or anything like that. But yeah, it was just like you go to a building, whatever it was, and like you just battle, cipher, you know what I mean? And like that was kind of it. And now
it's just music is playing and shit happens.
We're breaking, fool.
Yeah.
Like it's not. But now it's like, I mean, I guess the competition part of it.
It took over, I think.
I mean,
because it's not just like a dance party. It's
if we were throwing a jam today right now here and was like, yo, it's $5 to get in, or even free to get in, just open ciphers, live DJ, people probably wouldn't come. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd be like, is there a competition?
Yeah.
Is there money? Like, are you doing a cipher? You know what I mean? Like, people always, nowadays, I don't even think it's necessarily about the money. I think people, I mean, don't get me wrong, like people like an extra $500 or whatever it is in their pocket, but I think it's more people just want to win something and say they won and like go home and post something on IG or Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
yo, I just won
or whatever.
Yeah, and you can fucking win $25 and people will still be like, yo, I just won a cipher thing or whatever it is.
I won $25 at a jam before.
You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers just want to
post it nowhere though.
Motherfuckers just want to brag about some shit, which is dope, I guess.
I was ashamed of myself for that $25.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people just want to say they won something, or not even won, like attended something. Yo, I went to a jam in, whatever city. I went to a jam in, just got back from UK or whatever it is. Like, people just want to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like a big part of the competition and footage.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to enter the jam for the footage. And like even Profo says that, it'll be dope footage, if we go enter this jam or it'll be a good look, just to show people. And I think a lot of people just want that and then get the footage and then post the footage on their YouTube or IG.
There's a lot of promo nowadays. I do think fame in breaking is closely tied to like social media promotion.
Bro, like I said, people don't even necessarily even care about winning. Like, of course, everybody wants to win. You want to get a couple bucks in your pocket to go blow on whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's more like people want that content. You know what I'm saying? They want to say they went somewhere, you know, and they just want to, you know, just basically brag about the shit, you know?
Yeah.
Social media. I mean, I think that's where the scene's at. And I don't even necessarily think it's breaking, but I think it's just life in general. And, you know, I think, I mean, with the competition scene, there's a jam for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do, you know, the Red Bull BC1 big jam, like on some stage shit, they got that. If you want to do like a smaller, not even smaller, but like if you want to do like a Cypher Addicts type jam, you know, they have a competition there now. Yeah. So, but it's more small, it's intimate. If you want to do that type of thing, they used to have Circle Kings. I don't think they do that anymore, but they used to have that where it was like, you know, the raw B-boys were there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now they have like a crash battle or whatever, where like you just do a big move and it doesn't matter.
What
if
is
you
it
crash.
called? Like Crash Bandicoot or something like that. I think they do that at IB or something.
Yeah,
they might have did it at freestyle session.
I saw it somewhere, but I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. Like just people just throwing the craziest thing. It doesn't matter if they crash on
trying
their
to
face.
hit like double air flare, one arm, whatever.
Yeah.
See who could hit. But there's a jam for everybody. If you want to do, but I was saying about like, what was it, Circle Kings or whatever. That was like for the B-boys, you know, like Skill Methods and those type of crews were there. What's the one that Profo and them love in Singapore? What is it?
Radical Force?
Radical Force.
Yeah, I want to go to that. It looks like it's fun.
Yeah.
I mostly want to go because it's like this beach party thing. It looks kind of fun.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And it's a party atmosphere and like, I think that's another jam where like, you know, the real raw B-boys go, you know, a lot of the guys, you know, go there. So there's a jam for everybody. And then, you know, there's small local jams, you know, there's fucking stage, you know, you can go sit in an auditorium in some seats and just watch it, you know, there's, you know, so there's something for every park jams. You know what I'm saying? So there's a jam for everybody. There's a competition for everybody. There's money to go around for people that, you know, do it for that.
Okay.
I don't think necessarily, well, I know you can't make a living off being a battle B-boy or competition B-boy. Unless you got like a sponsorship or something like that. And like I know a couple cats that are, you know, making some pretty good money from like Monster and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is dope. I think that's dope too. It's probably not necessarily for me, like at this stage in my life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't necessarily.
But do you think it's good for the scene? That there's opportunities to get sponsored and like it's becoming like a, I don't know, kind of like an actual sport almost, you know?
The thing is with me and with like the sponsorship, I wish it was like more. Like I wish there was more, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's just like Monster and like Red Bull, you know?
Yeah,
like are the like
some Preparation HB boys or whatever.
Like, bro, like there's so many companies out there that B-boys like represent and like we're not getting anything. Like, okay, for example, like skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like skateboarders are getting breaded out in the competition. Yeah. Like they're making like
I think the skateboarding scene did a lot of work to get to where they are because it's like in a way they really started out like B-boys. They were just some freaking hood rat dudes just with a board with wheels on it, and they were like, let's do a kickflip, or, you know, let's just flip the board and try to land on it, and then, okay, let's call it kickflip, you know, and then eventually they're building crazy ramps and stuff, and then somebody sees it, and they're like,
some dude like borrowed their mom's camera and was like, you know, let's go film you, like, in the parking lot somewhere just shredding, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think breaking is at the point where skateboarding was at probably in the 80s or whatever when there started to be like some really good skaters and like the vert skating started becoming a little more popular, and then like bigger competition started coming around, and then they were like, you know, soon there's going to be something called the X Games, and we got to get ready for that. Kind of like how breaking, you know, the Olympics is coming for breaking pretty soon. Yeah. It's kind of like so they were getting their act together to, I guess, have something to actually compete about. You know, because before that, how do you even compete in skateboarding? It's just, fools jumping over stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're just like, you're scoring them like, oh, that was a 5. That was it.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you even score that? But they figured that out. And,
and that's where like breaking is struggling with that.
Breaking is struggling at that because, it's largely like an art form. And I know people don't want to like, they want to keep it true to it being an art form, and they're not like.
But as soon as you involve money,
it gets
all bets. Everything's out the window because there's money to make, lose, whatever. So it's like and like I was saying with the sponsorships, like I feel like there should be more out there. Like you know what I'm saying.
I think it will come.
I don't know.
Just like it came with skateboarding, assuming we all do it right and enter into the competitive space, at least in the public's eye, correctly. But yeah, I think if we compare it to skateboarding, it's kind of like, who used to sponsor skaters back then? It was like Jamba Juice and freaking Vans.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then, it started getting popular and stuff. And then X Games came around. And then now it's like everybody sponsors skating. Like if you're any kind of like active
or any
brand,
type of like drink Mountain Dew, like any type of like
dumb not
whatever.
To sponsor skaters because it's just like such a big thing. It's a huge market. There's videos, there's freaking video games, there's like, commercial. I mean, there's so much stuff. There's legit celebrities that are skaters, freaking Tony Hawk, whatever.
No, I just feel like there should be more. Like, whatever company, Red Bull, Monster, whoever. Like, if you're gonna sponsor, like, one group of, individuals, like, why not just? You're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like, if you really want to be down with like the scene, like, you know what I mean? Why not like spread that out throughout the whole scene?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not saying every jam, but you know what I mean?
I think they probably look at it. They do look at it from a business perspective, and they go like, well, when we put money into it, we need to see a return from these people buying our products or whoever buying our products.
Yeah.
And so I think they look at breaking and they're like, it's largely a small community of people in it. And so we're basically marketing to them.
Yeah.
But I think breaking in the next like 5 years is approaching a place where it's not just a small community anymore. Kind of like how mixed martial arts like grew from like this people that were just into like people fighting in cages and stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like this huge freaking sport, UFC all over the place. And, and you got like casual fans in a way, you know, right? So I think once breaking gets to the point where there's like casual fans and it appeals to them, dude, they're going to be like, yo, there's money to be made here because we can market to those people.
It's funny that you said the Olympics. So I was listening to like sports talk radio the other morning.
Yeah.
And I forget what show it was, but one of the guys was like, oh, yeah, they did a poll about like the Olympics or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess they asked like X amount of people if they thought breaking should be in the Olympics. It was like 50-something% of the people said no, it shouldn't be. So, basically that's telling me that like the regular American or regular person doesn't necessarily give a fuck about breaking. You know what I'm saying? And
or they might not even know what's it all about.
True,
too.
It could be. But yeah, like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And basically us breakers kind of need to just get over ourselves. Realistic. You know what I mean? Realistically.
For sure.
Because you see every day not every day, but every couple of weeks somebody will like, oh, the Olympics are like, bro, like in the grand like scheme of thing, like people like you're just a kid fucking spinning on your head somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that's what the average, American or whoever, that's kind of how they see it, and like we got people on a worldwide level bickering over, whether or not the breaking should be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And realistically, I don't think people really give a fuck, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think probably most people, well, half the people who hear, oh, do you want breaking in the Olympics? They're like, what the hell is breaking?
Yeah, they're probably just
and
like,
the other people are like, oh, that shit that doesn't exist anymore. Like it died out in the 80s or whatever. And then, so I don't know. The way I look at it is like, there's an opportunity that we can all seize, but if we just let it kind of roll by us, most people aren't going to care. It's going to roll past us. You know, the Olympics are going to come, breakers are going to be in it, nobody's going to watch it, and then it's gone. So, but it's a good opportunity to show like people what's up.
Yeah, it'll be like that category that's on like at 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, well, like shuffleboard or whatever. It's like breaking.
I think that's probably what's going to happen initially.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't spark up any attention, it's going to stay there. And it probably won't come back for the next Olympics. But I think if the community like seizes the opportunity in the right way, maybe you can get some attention from that and then get more people. Because like I said, you need to get some casual fans in there because, you know, otherwise it's not really a sport. It's just like this hobby that a lot of people, you know, I mean, not even a lot of people, but people are just like into, and it's just a very niche thing to be into. So, I mean, but I think it's a cool opportunity. I don't want to hate on it because I think it's something new, and it could help build the scene. It could also help tear apart the scene, but it's all about how we all approach it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the b-boy scene, not even like hip hop scene in general, I think there's like so much infighting. Yeah. In every element, there's something. Yeah. You know, DJs, MC, like somebody's bickering about something.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even with breaking, like right now, like the hot topic now is, you know, who created what and when.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's like realistically, bro, like when it comes to history of anything, like there's always two sides, you know. Yeah. This started here, this happened here, and then somebody's like, no, this is what happened, or this is what happened, or no.
And breaking is so young. I think everybody forgets that breaking is so young still that like it's maybe 50 years old. Whereas you look at something like ballet is freaking, I don't know how long old, but thousands of years old or some shit, right? Yeah. I mean, it's old. So, dude, we're in the beginning stages. 100 years from now, if people are still breaking, they're gonna look at my era, your era, Crazy Legs' era as the same era because it's seriously like only a few years apart in retrospect. Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, it's like we can't even come up with what am I trying to say? Like we can't even agree on terms of like moves. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in skateboarding, like a kickflip is a kickflip. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. Like in breaking, you know, Flair, Thomas Flair. You know what I mean? It's like what is it? Thomas Flair or Flair or, you know, Halos, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what's the name of the move? Like, we can't even agree on that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how to really go, you know, fix that. I think it's just time will, you know. So like you mentioned Rock Force and being in Rock Force, you're like a pretty decorated b-boy in terms of like the stuff you've done. Because I mean, you've repped like a lot of well-known, big influential crews such as Rock Force, Floor Gangs, Mighty Zulu Kings,
MZK,
Flex Flav. Who else were you with?
What was I before? Well, so I'm gonna start off my original crew. So the two crews that really got me like into like battling and stuff like that. The first crew that we started was called Crucial Empire.
Okay.
Crucial Empire or Crucial Elements. That's what that was like our first crew that we started. And it was basically kind of like before like Super Crew, like before like Super Crews were like a trend thing.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
basically guys from like the Sacramento area that we thought were like dope. And it was like guys
Okay.
from like Rancho Cordova, like Folsom,
Okay.
like guys from South Sac, like all over.
Where were you at that time?
At that time I had moved, man, Sacramento, bro. I lived basically all over Sac.
the place,
Like,
right?
so I was kind of like, and that was one thing that like kind of kept me out of trouble was breaking. You know what I'm saying? Like when I started, like my parents were like, they divorced or whatever. So I was kind of like, you know, staying with my mom, staying with my dad.
Yeah.
And they both lived in different parts of town. Like my mom lived in Sacramento, like the Arden, like arcade area.
Yeah, yeah.
And my dad lived in Rancho.
Okay.
So when I stayed with my mom for a while, so I was like busing it like from Arden Arcade area to Hiram Johnson because that's where I went to school at. So I was staying with my mom, and then shit wasn't working out with my mom. You know what I mean? You know how it is. You know, you're a young man. You think you know everything. So she was like, "Get your ass, go stay with your
Out the
dad."
stick and chase you.
Basically.
Yep.
So get your ass, you know, you're going to go stay with your dad in fucking Rancho. So I was like, all right. So anyways, so I was living in Rancho, and that's when I got down with Crucial Empire, Crucial Elements, whatever. We had kind of like two names or whatever. But like I said, we had guys from like Folsom, my boy Greg Bond, he lived in Folsom. Guys from like South Sac, Marcel. I don't know if you remember. You know Marcel, don't
Marcel, yeah.
he was in FIFA Army.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was in Crucial with us, like, and he lived like in fucking South area somewhere. And then my buddies from like Rancho. So we were kind of all from wherever, like different parts of the area or whatnot. And so that was like the first like real crew where we were like, you know, having crew practices. Like we'd go to like, it wasn't even like jams back then. Like people were throwing, like we called them breaking parties. So basically like say if it was your birthday or whatever, like you'd have like your garage set up and we call it like a breaking party.
Oh, that's dope.
So like people from, and it was crazy too, because obviously back then there was like no YouTube or anything like that. So you would just hear about somebody.
This was like late 90s or middle 90s or something?
Yeah, like mid 90s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you didn't, there was no YouTube, so you wouldn't, you know, see people being
there
dope.
was barely like footage.
Exactly.
Mean, like, who did you know that even had a camera back
Exactly.
then?
And like fools had like, you know, those big ass fucking camcorders. And
Yeah.
like, even then it was like, you know.
I mean, I remember when I was first starting, me and Vince used to make like stupid little like, you know, comedy skit videos. So we had this like piece of shit camera that we would do that with. And so when we started breaking, we brought it to a practice, and then fools were like giving us the stink eye, like, yo, what you doing? Like, are you biting or whatever? Yeah, and so we learned real quick, like, don't bring that shit to the practice. And so it's like, you know, because people would fight you, you know, if you were like, you know, actually like stealing their shit with the camera and stuff. So it's like, it was rare to even see a camera at practice.
Yeah. And then like you said with biting, like back then, like when I was coming up, like there was no such thing as like taking a move and flipping it. You were just a fucking biter.
Yeah.
And like people would call you and like it would be like you're a biter.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And
that rep would stick with you. It wasn't, you know, oh, you know, I'm flipping the move or, you know, he influenced me. Nah, motherfucker. Like you're a biter.
Yeah, your mouth flipped over that and chomped it.
And people would like, like they would really want to fight you over it. You know, and it wasn't just like breaking moves, it was like everything, like
just
graffiti,
like the way you look,
graffiti, your clothes, like, you know, like people, they wouldn't wear the same shoes, like people would like have like really try to be original with everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I have on these Nikes right here, and like if I saw somebody wearing them like the next week or next day, like I would call them a biter. Like, oh, bro, you're biting my style.
That's interesting. Okay.
Even over a pair of shoes that are sold at Foot Locker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in crew, like in our crew, like if somebody had on the same, like a pair of shoes or something, like you wouldn't go buy the same shoes. You know, like it could be a pair of Jordans. Somebody have the same shoe, like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you're biting off your, like, even crew members, oh, fool, you biting?
Yeah, it's
You know
like,
what I'm saying? But,
well, because you're like, dude, because your rep is tied to their rep too. So if it's like, yo, you're biting, like, now everyone's going to be like, this whole crew, they're all biters too.
Like,
so
we
it's
took
like,
that
you got to
shit.
keep your people, like,
Yeah. No, we took that shit serious back then, man. Like, not saying that people don't now, but I feel like it's a little
looser.
Yeah. You know, like, you
say, oh, I flipped it. And they're like, okay, I guess.
yeah. I mean,
It's I don't see people fighting over it anymore. That's the big difference. But and I think because of that, people got looser about it.
yeah, like, when's the last, I mean, you'll hear people say, call so-and-so a biter, but it'll be like a whisper. You know,
Yeah.
oh, so-and-so's a biter. Like, you know, they won't go confront nobody because, you know, nobody wants to start drama at a jam or whatever, which is understandable nowadays.
Yeah, I think a lot of people grew up and they're like, it's just dancing at the, you know, fighting over that is kind of stupid when you really put it into perspective. But also, it still stings a lot when you see someone taking your stuff and, like, you know. So, I don't know.
I mean, even now, like, I mean, I look at it and I'm like, I've probably, you know, influenced some of these guys, you know, that are out doing it at a high level now, and it's just like, I mean, whatever, you know.
It's I feel like you just gotta laugh at it at this point. Because it's like people are gonna do it, and you know, I don't want to say that biting is okay, but also I don't want to make a huge deal about it because it's like it's just me complaining at that point. It's not like doing any favors to myself, you know, because they're not gonna stop.
No,
you know,
and I mean, people aren't losing competitions because they're biting. You know what I'm saying? Like, which they should be.
It should be, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different subject.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, how do you even stop? How do you stop that? Because then that means every judge needs to, like, watch every freaking videotape, and it's like sometimes it's just a judge didn't know, and they're like, oh, that was a dope move, you know. And B-Boy Windmill was doing it, and I didn't see Ajax do it 10 years ago, but you know, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard subject because I mean, like, if you think about plagiarism in terms of like in school or something, now they got straight up programs. That, you submit your essay or whatever, and the program like looks through it, and it's like, oh, you stole this from, you know, Charles Dickens or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. But back to Cruz. So Crucial, and then Twisted Minds. That was like,
Twisted Minds. I remember.
So that was like my first like real that was a crew that it was like where it kind of all started. And it was basically some of the guys from Crucial, and then we got some other guys down. Trying to think, Mookie from Renegades, like he was down with us. He was one of my mentors, actually. Like back then, like he really put me up on game as far as like power moves and shit like that. Okay. Like form, make sure your form was correct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was he was like a huge influence for that, as far as you know, just helping me out like that. So Twisted Minds. We did Twisted Minds for it was a good, probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years. Like we were down, and like we're still like those are still my homeboys still this day. Like a lot, and I still rep, you know, Twisted Minds or whatnot. Twisted Minds, and then that kind of just fizzled out. Like, you know, people just
with life or whatever.
You know, had jobs because we were, you know, 18, 19 around that time. So people were, you know, having kids, working, getting into other shit, and then we just kind of fizzled out. And then I kind of lightweight stopped breaking for a little while. That was like around like 98, 99, like 2000-ish. Kind of slowed down with breaking. Started, getting to other bullshit, like cars and
you
shit.
were already out of high school at that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, senior year of high school, it's kind of like started dying out. Yeah. Getting into other shit, other bullshit, shit I probably shouldn't have been really fucking with. Yeah. Yeah, and then I remember, I think I had my kid too, my daughter.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So,
That'll
had a
change
kid, and I was still out fucking around or whatever, And then I had ran into somebody, I can't remember who it was. One of my friends was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to a jam at Sac State or whatever," and I was like, "All right, I'll go chill, maybe mess around or whatever, like on the side in the cypher or whatever." And then I ran into Abe. And I haven't seen him for a while. And he's like, "Oh, are you still dancing?" I was like, "Nah, man, I'm just kind of chilling or whatnot." And then, you know how Abe is. "Oh, you should start practicing. Yeah. You should come,
Come to my lair.
Basically. So, I started practicing with him. And then kind of started getting back into the scene again. And then that's when Flex was starting to come around. And then it was like Marcus, Abe. No, this was before.
Oh, really?
Roland, J-Rock.
Oh, yeah, Roland and J-Rock.
Like when they first started it. So they had Flex going, and I was still just kind of practicing with Abe and them or whatever. And then I don't even remember how it happened, but I ended up getting down with Flex. And this was like early on. So got down with Flex, and then, we were rocking for a while. Machine ended up getting down. Skittles. That's when Skittles. Well, I think he was already in, but like not really like taking it serious or whatever. But then started training with them, and then we did Flex for a while.
And then eventually, well, because then you guys were doing some big events, I remember. And then
we're doing like freestyle, like we did freestyle session. What else did we do? We did like some B-Boy summits. We did B-Boy summit, I think twice. What was that battle? California against Flex.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
That's a battle. Yeah, when we were like,
you remember that
we were killing them in routines.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy battle. And so then after that, it was around freestyle session 8.
Yep.
You got down with Rock Force.
Yep.
And so then you were rolling with them for a while, right?
Yeah. So me and Machine, it was that day actually.
Okay.
That we got down with Rock Force because we lost to I want to say California again. I think we lost to California.
I remember that because I was there. I was like freaking barely in high school. No, I was maybe a sophomore in high school, I think. And so I went to that jam. That was like the first big jam I ever went to. And I remember you guys battling there. And I think that's probably right when I met Abe, too.
Yeah, we lost to, I want to say California. And I think it was like, it might even, no, I don't want to say semis. Like, I don't think we got that far. But we got like, pretty like.
It wasn't like a prelim battle.
No,
I remember you guys.
It might have been semis because I think we beat like the Canadian crew for first round, I believe, and then it might have been, I don't know, but anyways, like of course we were pissed, we lost or whatever, and then it was funny because Johnny and Kareem had entered with us, so it was like Rock Force, Flex Flav or whatever.
Yeah,
and then they just wanted.
Now Rumi was with you guys too, right?
Oh yeah, she might have been. Yeah. I think she was. Yeah.
From what crew is she in now? Queen of Queens? No, she's in another crew. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she was with us.
Well, yeah, she's that Narumi was with you guys. I'm pretty sure.
So we lost or whatever, and then the whole time, I mean, Rock Force wanted me and Machine to get down, so it was like already kind of in the works or whatever. And then even with that, like I was telling them, like back then, I was like, you know, I'm gonna get down with Rock Force, but like, it's Flex Flav, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my crew. You guys are my first. You guys are priority. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna rep you guys before anything else. And then they were just kind of like, nah, you know what I mean? Like Abe wasn't really tripping so much. I think he was more like
heartbroken.
Yeah.
Stabbed
Yeah, I think he was more like, just fucking kind of felt like betrayed or something maybe. And it wasn't like that for me. Like I never was breaking like for fame or to like get in a famous crew or anything like that. Like, I mean, realistically, like every B-boy's dream, I feel like when they're coming up is to get into 3 crews, either Rocksteady, Rock Force, or Style Elements. Like I feel like those 3 crews, like at least for back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it still could probably be now. Yeah. But I like those 3 crews for me was like, if you get in one of those crews, like you
made it.
Yeah. Like you know, as far as like your rep or whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
And even for Rocksteady, like there was a time where I was trying to get in Rocksteady, and like Abe was like petitioning with some of the Vegas like Rocksteady guys like to get me in. Okay. And this was when I was in Flex. Okay. So I was like, oh, it would, Rocksteady would be dope, like to get down with like the West Coast chapter or whatnot. Yeah. And that really never came into fruition. And I don't even know if Abe was like being real or if he was just kind of like, just trying to hold on, like, no, Rocksteady wants you down or whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I was telling him, I was like, yo, like, I'm gonna be Flex Flav, like, that's what it is. And like, yeah, I'll rep Rock Force on the side or whatnot. And then, they like, it was, we were doing it for a while, and like I was trying to come to practice and shit for Flex, and they're just like cold shoulder, nah. And I was like, I'm like, bruh, like I'm trying here. You know what I'm saying? And then I had went to a practice, and then they were basically like, nah, bro, you're kicked out. I think it was like Morris and like Morris and Future or something like that. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Morris. Yeah, he just got back from a tour with the what was that shit? The Nutcracker Hip Hop Nutcracker. He said it was dope. So
out there cracking nuts.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. He was over here the other night practicing. So, but anywho, that's how that happened with Flex and Rock Force, and then shit.
So you rolled with Rock Force after that, and
we skipped MZK, but we can skip MZK though, because I mean I got a couple guys in that crew that that are still cool, but I don't know. They kind of, I don't know. I got kicked out or put on probation for like some bullshit.
Well, because I remember you were like one of the first people down when like Ness like rebranded it or whatever. When
Flexible Flav was like, we were the first like guys to get in MZK, like you said, when Ness brought that shit back out. It happened at we were at the Furious Styles anniversary. Okay. And we went out there. It was like me, Dietrich, Abe. I want to say Karma was with us. I think Marcus was there too. Yeah. And we went out there and won the jam or whatever. Ness was judging. He's like, yo, I want y'all to get in Zulu Kings. So it was Zulu King. Like it was Zulu Kings.
It wasn't
like,
Mighty Zulu.
No,
it was just
Mighty.
It was just regular Zulu Kings.
The Zulu Kings, and then whatever they.
He kicked you out, and then he's like, "Oh, we need to get that Mighty now."
Yeah. So, anyways, so I got kicked out or put on probation, which was whatever to me. Like I didn't really. But there's some guys in there that I'm still cool with. I mean, they got an army, you know what I'm saying, of guys in the crew. But there's some cats in there that I'm still cool with, and I'm still cool with Ness to this day. It's not like we have any.
It's not like beef or nothing.
No beef. And he was a huge influence on me as well. So it's like shout out to Ness too.
Dope. And so then, so Rock Force, then you were rolling with them for a long time. And I know you did some, like, a crap ton of battles when you were there. Because, like, I feel like that's when you really, like, started blowing up on, like, an international level a little bit. Like, because you repped with them in, like, IBE. And I know you guys were there at, like, that one freestyle session. And you did really well.
Honestly, bro, we did a lot of battles with Rock Force, and like I'm grateful, still grateful, because I mean, who knows? Like maybe I would have got some international gigs without them, but I mean they gave me my first international gig, so
like exposure,
yeah. So like I'm grateful, but as far as like skill wise and battling wise, like I think when I was in Flexible Flav, I think that's when I was really like.
Oh, that was
hungry.
Okay.
And like I feel like my skills and just all around like battle presence was really there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like not saying I wasn't hungry when I was in Rock Force. I just think the pressure was like hard to like keep, carry on that name and that tradition of Rock Force. So it was like it kind of took a toll on me. When we were at Flex, like we had nothing to lose. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
kind of like you're the underdog, and it's like everyone assumes you are whack, and so it's like let's prove them all wrong.
Exactly.
And then you're now Rock Force, and it's like everyone's looking at you like, yo, these are the big dogs in here. So
and it was always like you're in that shadow, and people be at, where's Reveal? Like fuck, I don't know. Where's is Iron Monkey still down? Yeah, people will be asking that because that's who they saw for all those years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of
Gerald.
Like, Gerald, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
But I feel like when I was in Flex, like that's when I was like probably like the hungriest, and like I was really, really, really trying to like make a name for myself and for the crew. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like, and like I said, we didn't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
You just left it all out on the dance floor, and it was,
That's dope.
I mean, because obviously, like if I was doing, I was doing something right for Rock Force to come and fucking
to swoop you up,
when it's down or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, as far as like jams with Rock Force, oh yeah, we did. Total Session was the first one with that we did, and that was a 3v3, me, Kareem, and Machine, and that was my first international trip. Grenoble, France. So we did that. That was dope. The plane ride was crazy. Like it was basically like super long flight. You land. Barely have time to go check into the hotel, and then boom. It was like a 3-day event, I think. So the first day, they had like a top rock competition, footwork competition, and then they had something else. So, automatically, like, I'm doing the footwork, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was like heavy on footwork back then. So, I'm doing the footwork and Machine's doing the top rock. So we basically landed, went to the hotel, dropped our shit off, maybe changed, and went straight to the competition.
Ran over there and did it.
So first day, got to the competition, footwork battle. I entered. I ended up making it to the semifinals, I believe, and I lost to David Kola. I can't remember. He's an OG from over there.
I recognize that name.
I can't remember what crew he's down with. I want to say like Actual Force or something, but it's probably not. It's probably not. I mean,
he's from that era.
Yeah, he's an OG from over there, and it was like I lost to him, and I was kind of like, you know how it is. Like you think you won, and like I probably did, but they probably weren't gonna let me beat him in France, and I'm still kind of like unknown.
They're
back
like, who's
then.
this guy who's beating our hero?
Yeah.
You can't beat Superman.
Yeah, And I mean, it was a dope experience though, because I think we did like a tiebreaker or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
I mean
like,
that's a big deal though. Like if you're in someone's hometown and that's their dude, and you're getting a tiebreaker, that means like all them judges are like, oh dude, this fool won, but we need our guy to win this.
Yeah, and I don't even remember who the judges were back then.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we did that, and then Machine did the Top Rock battle, and I think he ended up winning, but it was kind of the same deal with him. He did like a couple tiebreakers or something like that. Yeah. But he ended up winning that, which was dope.
Was that the one where he battled this French dude,
Matthias?
Yeah, because I remember Matthias was like killing it back then, and there was like this really crazy battle between him and Matthias.
And I think they were, I think it was, maybe it was like IBE or something like a couple years later. Maybe that same year, they kept, like they had like a rivalry or something going.
Yeah. Like it was, I feel like, because that was when Machine was with the B-Boy World team or whatever. So he was like always in France battling and stuff. And it seemed like every time he was there, it was like Matthias like would come out of the shadows and just like, I'm coming for you. And then it was like a battle. Oh, again, it's a Machine versus Matthias again.
Yeah, I think that, Damn, you said what? He was with, what was it, B-Boy World or whatever?
B-Boy, it was like the B-Boy World. The first one, bboyworld.com team or whatever.
When like Omar and all them were on there? Jive Turkey, remember?
Yeah.
That was when Machine, I think he actually moved to Texas for a while and was
really?
Jive Turkeys or whatever.
Yeah. Because he was with them a little bit, and then,
Omar
was on the team, and Ronnie, I think, and Ben.
Yeah.
And Speedy.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
There might have been somebody else.
There was a bunch of them. I think Milky was on there too.
Oh, Milky was there for a minute. Yeah. There's a lot of people. But the team was it's weird to look back at that time, because at that moment it was like, I feel like there was no sponsored team, right? Yeah. At that point. And then you see this like website basically sponsoring a team to come out and like win every jam, and now it's kind of like it's so normal to see that.
That's the norm now.
It's like every energy drink has a freaking team, and they're all rolling through to like win the other energy drinks competition.
Yeah.
So
we did Total Session was the first international jam, and that was kind of like when Rock Force, like the resurgence came, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we did after that. Damn, what did we do after that? Freestyle session, London, I think we did. And then we did some other shit. We did a jam in Korea. I can't remember the name of the jam, but we got smoked. Got smoked by Gamblers.
So that like they were like killing it too.
Yeah. So I mean, there was some jams where it was like we were up there, like as far as like talent wise, and then I think just towards the end we just kind of like fizzled out, you know, and like other crews were like, you know, like they were like, not saying we weren't a real crew, but there was like me and Cream in Sacramento, Machine, Profo, Rob, Miles, they were all in the Bay, so it was like we weren't kinda really like
join it a little bit.
Yeah, and we weren't really like practicing like that.
Okay.
And like we were doing these international battles like on some high level shit, you know, against, you know, Gamblers, Top 9. You know, crews like that, and it was like, you know, we were just getting smoked.
Damn.
And then like it kind of like that was kind of like the downfall, because you know how it is, like when you're winning, everything's good.
Yeah.
As soon as you start losing, it's just like a sports team. You know, as soon as they start losing, you know, shit starts coming out. You know, LeBron James isn't happy. He wants to trade. You know what I mean? That type of shit. It's same with Breakin.
What if that happens with Breaking, like on that, like?
But realistically, it kind of does.
I mean, it does, but it's like it's not. You know, you don't have Stephen A. Smith like yelling, going, "Oh, Ajax is leaving. He's going over here or whatever. He's mad."
Yeah, but it's kind of like that, and that's kind of what it was. Like, you know, we lost a couple, and it was a couple jams in a row. I'm probably skipping around like years and shit, but it was like at least like 4 jams in a row. Like we lost, and we were just like, fuck, you know?
You just get smacked hella hard.
And we were getting smoked too. Like, I mean, I guess when you watch footage, you're like, oh, you know, it's a close battle. But when you're in the battle, you're like, man.
I hate that feeling because it breaks you because you're like, because you go into it, you're like, oh, like even, like say you go into it really hyped and you're like, oh, we're going to win this. And then some dude just does some wild ass shit and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when Mike Tyson, what's that quote that Mike Tyson says? Everybody has a plan until you get punched.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
face. It's kind of like that. It's
No,
like,
for
dude,
real.
we're going to win this shit. Yo, that dude just punched you in the face and it's like, oh, crap. And
Everybody's looking around like on the battle line and shit. Like oh,
yo, who's going to get that one? Like, uh-oh, that's when you already lost.
Yeah, no doubt. Like
and definitely if you walked into the battle going like, yo, we're going to get smoked, then you already lost.
Everybody's fucking panicking and shit, looking around, fucking up on routines and you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That type of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of like that, and that was just kind of like the downfall, like losing those jams, and then we're just kind of like, man, like, is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to take a step back, and you know how it is. It's like, people start fucking, you know, choosing sides and clicking up and doing this, that, and the other, and it was just kind of like, I think the final straw was us. We battled Rocksteady at that. I think it was like. Frenemies or something like that. I think that was the name of the jam. And it was like a Rocksteady tour where they went to like all the cities, like major cities, and like they battled like whatever crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing footage of that.
Yeah, the jam was called Frenemies, I believe, and it was like they did a tour, and like I know that because we battled in L.A. and then they did like I can't remember what other cities they did. Maybe like I don't know. Fucking Texas or, you know, somewhere in Texas or whatever like that. Yeah. But anyways, something had came up and I think Crazy Legs posted something like, yo, we're coming to LA and we're looking for, you know, a crew to battle. And of course, you know, nobody wanted to do it. And we're like, you know, we'll do it. You know, Rock Force. And like we were looking at the, like the crews from the other cities, like, oh, you know, we can smoke them, you know. Yeah, okay. Fuck, dude. When we went to LA, they brought like the top, like the hitters. Like it was like Jeromski when Flea Rock was in Rocksteady. So
was that when Flea Rock was wearing this like head to toe blue outfit and he was like going off?
He had the Beat Street. I call it the Beat Street outfit. He had that shit on.
Yeah. Okay, I do remember that battle. So it was like battle.
Flea Rock, Jeromski, who else was with them? I want to say Technique. It was like a killer squad. Yeah. Fever One, I believe. I can't remember who else, but I remember we got smoked like bad, like hella bad, and like I think that was just the final straw. Everyone was like, man, fuck this shit.
Oh man. Like, that must feel like crap.
It was kind of, I kind of feel like it was a setup too at the same time. Like Legs made sure like he had like,
yeah, it's a statement. He's
like the squad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
we're the only rock in town.
Yeah. He like wanted to smoke us bad.
Okay. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, there was like, it seemed like there was some tension or something around that time.
Because I think it was, it might have been a little while. Something had happened. Like I think Legs and Paul had maybe had a misunderstanding or something along those lines. Something. So it was
wanted
like,
to make a statement.
Mm-hmm. And like we were dumb. Like we didn't. I mean, we took it serious, but we didn't really take it as serious as we should. Like we fucking went and we ate like some L&L barbecue before. So motherfuckers walked into the jam like sleepy and shit.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I'm
see
saying?
Flea Rock rolled through with his Beat Street outfit, and you're like, oh damn, dude, I gotta take a dump, dude.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, we were just bullshitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
And like, you know, you can't go into a battle like that. You know, fucking coming off eating some barbecue chicken and
you're like wiping your lips and this.
Yeah, you know
meanwhile, Flea is like hitting some crazy ass drills, and you're like, oh shit.
So I don't know, and like the same thing, like you said, the Mike Tyson quote, like they came out and just bam,
right in the face.
Yeah, and we're just like looking around and shit, and it's just like
I feel like it's kind of important to get smoked though, because it like reframes your mind a little bit, because you could be walking around thinking you're the shit, and then
and that was probably part of it too. Like we might have been like like a little like I said, we looked at the prior cities and we're like, oh, we can smoke them. You know what I'm saying? Like we were probably like a little bit too cocky going into it. And then not even that, like when you're in a crew like that, like if it's not like organically put together, it shows. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't necessarily have the chemistry. And I feel like a lot of the times with Rock Force, the chemistry just wasn't there. You know, and you can even sense it like at practices sometime, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see.
Like cats ain't necessarily trying to build. And I'm not going to say like I didn't like come up with when I was with Rock Force. But like the chemistry wasn't really there. And like I'm saying, like at practice, it was kind of like we're not building. We're just kind of like showing each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of practice. Or showing off, like, oh, look.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's kind of like a competition between each other, but it's not like you're building with each other. Oh, okay.
Motherfuckers
I understand that.
Motherfuckers is running their same, like, battle sets that you know you can hit, and motherfuckers ain't necessarily trying new shit, you know?
Yeah,
like, you're not learning, you're not doing anything new.
Yeah, I mean, to build the chemistry, you kind of need to be a little bit, like, what's the word?
Like, I feel like you got to be vulnerable.
Vulnerable, yeah, exactly. Yep. Like, you got to be vulnerable. So you got to be, like, trying some new stuff, and then you're probably going to crash it. Exactly. And then your homie's going to be like, oh, that was cool, except you crashed. Like, just do it and try to put your hand here or whatever and, like, catch it next time. But, but if you're like, oh, I can't let him see me crash or whatever, then it's all bad. Yeah.
You're not
building. You're just trying to show off.
Yeah, it was kind of that. A lot of the times, and it was like, I think that like translated into the battles, you know what I'm saying? And like, we were like constantly battling. Like we weren't like, you know, let's do 2 jams, take some time off, like regroup, like figure shit out. It wasn't that. And it was like a lot of bickering. And like I said, like, I don't want to make it seem like this was only in Rock Force, because this happens in
it happens in every crew. I mean, but it's, I feel like, if the crew doesn't have like this solid bond, like outside of breaking and like, those kind of things that are going to happen in a crew are going to start tearing it apart a little bit. So, so, I mean, I definitely experience that kind of stuff all the time.
And then I think like me, Miles, and Profo, we kind of fucked with Rock Force just towards the end of it. We did like a couple jams, and then we're just kind of like, fuck it.
I see.
Miles ended up getting down with Renegades. And then me and Profo were just kind of like on some solo shit. And we were just still building with each other as far as like entering jams and shit like that. And just, you know, keeping in touch, training every once in a while. And then he ended up going on a tour, like some fucking, he went to Asia for like, I don't know, it was like 6 months or something. He was gone for a while. And he was like keeping in contact with me. I remember because he didn't have a cell phone and shit. But he was like always hitting me up on Facebook, like message. Yeah, like, yo, you know, is everything good? Like,
okay, that's how
you training, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I'm still training, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. And then I remember he posted something about getting down with floor gangs, and I was like, floor gangs. I was like, what, fool? I was like, I thought that was like all Koreans or some shit. And then like he was repping with them for hella long. Yeah. And then finally he came back home, hit me up and was like, yo, I'm down with floor gangs. Like, I want to start a crew out here. Yeah. Me, you, and then obviously he's going to get his brother, Rob. Like, it'll just be us.
Wasn't Marlon in it too from Havoc Coro? I think he was like the first one actually down with, from America at least, that I remember.
I think so this is what happened. Profo had got down, and then Marlon had went over there somewhere. I think same kind of deal, did like a tour in Asia or something like that. And another chapter had put him down. Yeah. So it was like, it was after Profo was down.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, I don't even know if he still reps. I think he does. I mean, I think he's on one of our like group chats or something like that. But I don't know if he like,
I don't even know if he breaks anymore.
I think
he does
still,
like poetry.
Yeah,
or something,
I think he still like gets down, but you know how it is. Like, you know, cats are doing other shit these days. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, he's like, you know, you want to get down? I was like, well, I mean, if you're, of course, like, I'll rock with you regardless. Like, I don't care about the other shit, you know, all the politics side of it.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to do something out here, at least we'll have something to rep.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's not just Profo and Ajax. You know, we got a little crew.
Uh-huh.
So it was just me and him and floor gangs for a good, like, 3-4 years, bro. And then Rob, of course, but, you know, Rob wasn't doing competitions or whatever like that. So we do 2v2s, just train together, or like jump in with crews. And then trying to think, the first like big battle we did was in LA, was the Battle of the Year. It was like a 2v2, but it was at the Battle of the Year like qualifier, and it was me and Profo.
Yeah,
we did that. Yeah. That was the first time we came out like as floor gangs.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So we did that, and we ended up losing. I want to say it was the semis to Palmer and Jeremy.
His brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We lost to them. And it was a dope battle. Like, I think that was like the first time where people were like, oh shit, like Profo and Jax, like those fools are killing, like they're back, you know what I mean?
They're back.
Like they're killing it. Like, you know, they're not Rock Force no more, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And like we killed it that day, and like people were like, yo, you know, you guys, you know,
yeah,
you know, the typical, I thought you guys won, or, you know,
oh yeah,
whatever, or you guys were killing it, like that type of deal. But yeah, it was just the two of us for like a good 3 or 4 years, and then I kept telling him, like, dude, we got to get some people down, because you know, like, you're in the Bay, I'm in Sac, like if we don't get, like, try to, like, you know, get this crew moving, like, it's just going to be the two of us. And you know, and we were both kind of like picky on who we wanted and shit like that, like, because we didn't want to you know, basically like start like a super crew or anything like that. Like, we wanted it to happen like organically.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it took a while for us to get people down, and then that's how the Vangs and all them got down.
Yeah, so
because
that's when Alex and
I was teaching them here.
Oh, okay.
And then I was telling Profo, I was like, dude, I got some students, bro.
Dude,
like, you know
I remember Alex, he was like, how old was he? I feel like he was in 8th grade or something, and he was hitting some air flare windmills or whatever. It's like, dude, this little kid is freaking dope.
Yeah. When I started teaching those fools, I think they were like, 13, 14. They weren't driving, that's for sure, because their parents were like dropping them off here at the studio or whatever like that.
Dang.
And then, I was like, Profo, I was like, I got some students, bro. Like, they're still like green and raw, but they're talented. You know, they'll listen to what we say. Like, they're not going to be wilding out, like doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You know, they're hungry. You know, they want to learn. Like, you know, and then he's like, oh, you know how Profo is. He's stubborn when it comes to shit like that. But I mean, like it like the patience of it worked. So we ended up getting the Vangs down, Alex, Alvin, and then Damien. Damien was coming here as well. Okay. So we got him down. And then it was dope because Alex and Alvin, they're like, well, we want to get down, and like we're honored and all that. Dope opportunity, but we want you guys to take our crew members with us. They're floor magnets, still floor magnets. They were like, we want you guys to bring like our crew members with, in the crew. And I was like, all right. Because they all came here and practiced anyways, and like I knew them, so I was like, that's honorable. You know what I'm saying? For you guys to be like,
to bring your people with you. Yeah.
Because, I mean, they could have just been like, all right.
Fuck you guys.
And even then, like, it wasn't like floor gangs was like doing shit anyways back then. So it wasn't like they were like jumping up to it like a better crew. They were just basically like, getting down with another crew and repping another crew.
Yeah, okay. So
that type of thing. So yeah, we took Alex, Alvin, Damien, Kennedy, and Jerry, floor magnets. Like, those were like the first guys that we got down. And then we were just rocking with them, and we weren't even like, we did a couple of small battles. We did like a 3v3 here in Sac. I think we did Larry's freestyle session, the Sacktown Underground qualifier. We lost that one to I think it was like Little Rock and somebody else. But yeah, we just did like small jams here and there. We didn't really do a lot of jams, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
So we were rocking with them for a year or two, and I was like, yo, we got to get some more people down. And then that's when we got Kobe down. Then I don't remember if it was Sam first or Kobe, but either way, we got Kobe and Sam down. Because that's when we were doing like the Breakin International thing. Mm-hmm. Like you did Breakin International a couple times.
I did, yeah. I only did like a couple of those, but yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, got Sam Kobe down, and then that's when after that, a little while later, Ark, and then Jack, then Ray Guns. That was Profo. Oh, yeah. Profo was fucking with Ray for a while.
Okay.
Just like going out there. I think
to Florida, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Pro was like judging some jams or out there or whatever, and just got cool with Ray, and like I think they entered a couple jams and whatever like that. And then Profo was like, oh, Ray. Like I heard of Ray, but I didn't really know whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Profo was like, yo, Ray, like I'm gonna get him down. I'm like, do it. I mean, I was like, you trusted my judgment with the other guy, so I'm gonna trust your judgment with Ray. And then that worked out. Got Ray down. And like Ray's dope. Like he comes out here a lot. Like he travels a lot too. So he comes out here just on the strength, you know what I mean? Like to enter jams or whatever, and like, just because he wants to rep and kick it and stuff like that and build. So we got Ray down, and then we got Karma from 808 Breakers.
Oh, he got down too?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's like the last guy that we got down. And that should be everybody.
Okay.
For the U.S. chapter.
Okay.
I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. Yeah. If I did, sorry. Got old man memory going on. So yeah, that's pretty much how the U.S. chapter build. So there's like a U.S. chapter, Korea, Japan.
Is there a Europe one? Because there's like that dude Mouse or whatever, isn't he down?
Yeah, so I don't know if there's like Denmark or if it's like just a UK chapter, like, or excuse me, Europe chapter, like combined. So it's like US, Korea, Japan, and then like the Europe guys. I believe like that's how it goes.
Okay, that's tight.
So,
the last thing I just wanted to say was like, I know you're into like a lot of other things like fishing and golf. Is there any like similarities you see with those and like hip hop, breaking, or anything? Like what drew you to those? Or
so with fishing, it's kind of crazy. Like they actually have like tournaments and shit like that for fishing, like bass tournaments.
Yeah.
And there's a couple brands that are like, you can tell that they're like inspired by like hip hop. There's a brand called it's called Amplified Fishing, and they got like gear and shit on there, and you can tell like they're like, they're either down with hip hop or somewhere down the lines they were like a hip hopper, and they're like, I'm gonna integrate like this hip hop culture into like the fishing culture.
That's dope. And
it's actually like, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. Like the fishing scene is similar to like the breaking.
Yeah.
There's like brands that like sponsor people.
Yeah.
There's tournaments. There's like gear, like you can buy whatever type of gear, Shimano bean, you know what I mean? Like they got all that shit. Like you can buy, you know what I'm saying? They have like promotional staff where like people, like they basically sponsor you and you get like a discount on like gear and shit like that. Yeah. Kind of same thing. You post your content on IG, YouTube. Even on YouTube, like there's a big like YouTube community of like fishermen. So like guys say like you and I, we have a Curtin Ajax like fishing channel or whatever. Yeah. And like there's guys that go around to like different lakes and shit
Oh, and they're like, oh, we got this. There's these kind of fish here. Let's catch some. Or
yeah,
whatever.
and they do like tutorials and
dope.
like all types of different shit. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Like I just bought a kayak.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, like my Christmas present to myself. So bought a kayak and like a bunch of gear for Christmas for myself, and like so it's kind of similar, like the hip hop scene and like the fishing scene. Is what they call it.
Yeah, I mean it seems like they're both somewhat underground, but there's like a rich community of people that are in it.
It's like the same thing. It's kind of crazy, and like they have the same like discussion,
Yeah.
Who,
who's biting my moves?
This guy won this tournament, like, did he, I don't know, just whatever it is, but they have like the same kind of like drama and like, or actually funny. It was funny too, cause I was on my, my IG page. I have a separate IG for like my fishing shit. And, there's these two brands, you can come in. Okay. We're almost wrapped up.
Yeah, we're almost.
So there's these two brands, and one of them's called 6 Cents, and the other one is Guggen Baits. Mm-hmm. So like the Guggen Baits, they're like young guys, like they're all like 25-ish, like young guys, and they're kind of new on the scene. And then there's this like there's like some drama going that they basically bit the other, the 6 Cents, like their product. So they have like it was like some crankbaits. So a crankbait is basically like it's like a hard plastic, like bait or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, they were saying that the Guggen bait guys bit the 6 Cents products, and like basically the same product and they're selling it, and people are like, oh, did they steal? Like,
that's hella funny. Oh,
yeah. Dang. And it's like, what the fuck?
Fishing drama, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like, bro, like, it's a product. Like, Pepsi, Coke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to buy what they want to buy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you like Nike better or Adidas?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same deal. And like, it was this huge thing online about it. Kind of crazy. So yeah, the scene's like, it's similar, man.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't think that they would be like that. That's funny.
Yeah, man. There's like tournaments. There's actually a lot of money on the line too. Like guys are winning, like for like the real like Bassmaster tournaments, dudes are winning like millions. You know what I'm saying? And they got sponsors and like all that shit. So.
I mean, and I think that's probably because they got lots of casual fans too. Like casual in the sense that there's people that are fishing, but they're not like pro fishermen. They like it.
No, yeah, it's like dudes like me. Like, I'm not a pro, but like I'll,
But you fuck with it.
Yeah, I'll fucking, I might check out a tournament or whatever to see like, there's like some local guys or something that I know. Like, oh, let me see what fucking Johnny Flu's doing or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they stream it, just kind of like how like, like the B-boy shit, like they'll stream it online or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's like tutorials, like all that shit. So there's a lot of money in it. Like GoPro, like they sponsor like a lot of the tournaments and like fishermen and shit. Like they got
GoPro needs to get on some breaking stuff. I could see that.
Yeah, GoPro. The new GoPros are dope. Have you seen them?
I've seen like
the Hero 8. And
they're like really small, right?
No, it's like the same size, but you don't need all the other attachments. Like I think it's just waterproof straight out the gate. It's the Hero 8, and then they have like a plus, like Hero Plus or Plus something.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty dope,
yeah. GoPro is tight. I've always liked GoPro. Yeah. Well, anyways, I think I'll let you get out of here since we've been going for a minute.
Yeah, man, it was dope. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, it's been great. There's so much stuff I can talk to you about, like your brand, your clothing brand, and then, it'd be really dope to get you back on here at some point.
Yeah, man.
So we could talk about that. So before I close out, is there any like quick shout outs you want to do or like,
plugs? I want to shout out to Elite Studio for letting me come in here, and I kind of just who-righted in here, but she doesn't mind. Elite Studio of Dance. Yo, if you guys want to take a breaking class, your kids, I take all levels, all skill levels, girls, boys, I don't care. And then also I have an open session. I try to do it every Thursday night from 8:30 to 10:30. So if you guys want to just come out in session, you guys know how to find me on my IG, Facebook, whatever.
Which is what's your handle on there?
Ajax FLGZ on my IG, so you can holler on there, message me, whatever. I'm sure you guys can find me if you guys really wanted to.
Yeah, and then your clothing brand.
Oh man, that's a whole nother topic. Yeah, my clothing brand, Fourth Dimension Streetwear, built for the elements, by the elements. We got some stuff on there. It's a grind with that though. So
Yeah.
I mean, same thing. Like, you guys know how to find me if you want gear. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, beanies, hats, all that shit. So holler.
Yep. Well, dope, dude. Glad you're on. Thanks for being on here.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me.
And
man.
thanks for
Appreciate it.
listening, you guys. Peace.